All right, welcome to the Who You Know
Who You
Job
Know.
Networking Show where
Yes. Who you
Who
know
you
is
know.
important, but
what you know is important,
what you y'all see that
but who you know
who
can
you
make all
know
the
makes
difference in
all
your
the
job
difference
search.
across the USA.
That is right. That is right. Mark Elder here, and we have Foster as our co-host. We have a little bit different show today for you guys, a little bit different lineup because our compadre, Trevor Houston, is on vacay. So
Yeah.
congratulations, Trevor, for being able to get away during this time. Hope you guys are staying safe and having fun out in the sun. Thank you all for being with us today. We definitely have a jam-packed session for you here, and the show has just great content that's going to be shared with you. So we've got two special guests. We have Fain Brandt, who is out in sunny San Diego, speaking of
San
sunny.
Diego, I know. I love San Diego.
And she is the Chief Inspiration Officer with her company. And then we also have Dan Irvin, who is also with us. And he is going to be sharing with us how video and social media has transformed his search and talk about leadership transformation, some of his expertise and skills that he has to share with us.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
as always, we want to just kick this show off right with some updates. But first and foremost, most importantly, let's say a prayer and give some thanks for all the blessings that we have. So,
Absolutely.
If you guys
we got
will-
a big blessing to talk about.
oh
too.
yeah, and a lot of landings to report.
A lot
so
of landings. Yeah.
Let's jump into it. If you guys will, bow with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you just so much for all the things that you have done for us and given to us. Just so many blessings that we have to count. And just thank you for continuing to bless the show, helping it to be an inspiration to those that are watching, those that are in the transition phase of their lives, and those that may be hurting. Dear Lord, we know that there's a lot of people out there that have special needs. I pray that you would attend to those needs, family members, and just even themselves. Thank you so much for our friend David Mundy, who as
Oh,
of
yeah.
late has undergone some surgery, and
Yes.
hopefully he is recovering well. We also want to give thanks for Mark Lushington Murray and Gay Murray.
Yes.
We know that she had been battling cancer and that she has now excitedly been declared cancer-free. So thank you so much
Yeah.
for them, for Gay, and just touching her body and making sure that she is well. I just pray that you would bless our conversations today, that you would lead us in our discussion, help us to be impactful for those that are watching, that you would be with us this following week as we go about our business, and be with those of us that could not be here today. In your name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
That's a good. I want to take a special time, you guys, to talk about the real. This is real life stuff. We need jobs and all that stuff. You know what? God, just like Mark just asked God to give us a job, that's going to happen, y'all. That it will happen. Continue to move forward. But you know, Mark prayed in his prayer. He said, Mark Lushington Murray, who's he's one of our brothers in this network, his wife Gaynor, they're both from the UK, and we have been praying for a number of months for Gaynor, and she had a bout with cancer. No more. God eradicated it. No more. It's in remission, and that's where we want it to be, and we want it to stay. So, guys, continue to keep our prayers moving forward for Gaynor, that she may continue to move in remission. I'm real excited to tell you guys about that because that's real life stuff. Okay, I'm going to shut up.
All right. Well, yes. I mean, absolutely. He is with us. He's with us always. And, you know, for many of you, you have had some significant things happen in your journey during your time of transition.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear about that in the comments. Tell us how you've been impacted during your search. You know, that's something that we always want to hear about and be an inspiration to others because, again, we're in this together. The search
Yeah,
is
we
hard
are.
enough. You definitely do not have to do it alone. So
We got thousands of people in this network just here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And you guys, with me being the job father, right? That's what they call me, right? Because I'm old. No, I'm not old. But I get to hear it all, guys. I get to hear all of these miracle stories and everything. And you know what? That is my gas in my tank. So I get a little excited about stuff like that. Y'all just bear with me. We'll be all right.
Yep, definitely so. So we want to go into some updates. We definitely have a lot going on There's a lot of events that are coming up. There's some things that we want to share with you. So if you are new to the network, pay close attention because there are a lot of resources out there, and we want to get you plugged into those. So first and foremost, if you would jot down and save and bookmark to your browser whoyouknow.show. whoyouknow.show. That's where you can get tapped into a lot of these events. So some of the things that we've got coming up. We actually just finished TalentNet Live last week.
Yeah, last Friday.
So if you missed that, the next TalentNet Live is going to be coming up this fall, I believe, and that should be here in DFW. It will likely be virtual again, but it was a great platform and a great format. So it's chock full of recruiters, talent acquisition professionals, and hiring managers.
It's amazing, guys, what we can do. And it's not just Zoom. There are other platforms, guys, that have a lot of applications. And if you guys were at that event, you'd be completely blown away with some of the things that we were able to do and all the people we were able to meet. I know it's not the same thing as being in person,
Right.
But it's a nice second base.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So be sure to make sure you are into the next TalentNet Live. Whether you're working or not, it's super impactful on getting some insight and looking into the talent acquisition and recruiting industry. As always, every Monday we have the Career Transition Summit, the Who You Know Summit. And that is every Monday afternoon from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It is virtual. It's on our website. You can register there. And that is all about rehumanizing your search, getting yourself out of the black hole, if you will, and getting your resume on top of the pile.
And also on Monday, guys, the Go for Gold series, the Go for Gold workshop is every Monday at 6 o'clock. You guys, I share information. A lot of people share information on LinkedIn. You will see the Zoom link to join us there. We bring in subject matter experts, tell us about job search and how we can get there. And sometimes we bring in companies that are looking to hire people.
Yeah. Who's looking to get hired here? Who's looking to get hired, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that guy. That guy. These guys.
Laura Poole, you see that guy? We got to help him.
So, make sure you stay tuned to that. And also on Tuesdays, every Tuesday for coming up here, well, not every Tuesday, excuse me. On Tuesdays, we have the webinar series. We have the webinar series, the Job Resource Management series. That is a registration. It's the first and third Tuesday, so it's the same as Frisco Connect. But it is in the afternoon from 1 to 1:30. It's a down and dirty, nice and short 30-minute period where Trevor teaches you on how to get noticed, again, how to get yourself out of the black hole. He dives deep into leveraging technologies to infuse it into your search and make sure that you're staying, again, relevant and top of mind. So I think top of mind is going to be an underlying theme for today.
Absolutely.
And then in the morning is Frisco Connect. That's every first and third Tuesday, guys. On the other Tuesdays, on second and fourth Tuesdays, and fifth, some Mondays, some Tuesdays come 5 times in a month. We have the IT focus group. That's something to think about. Here in Dallas, we always got something going on every day. Wednesday is HR, and then the Who You Know Job Networking Show.
Yes, and in between, I want to give a special shout out because we haven't actually mentioned this in quite some time, but the Dallas Pit Crew.
Oh, yeah.
The Pit Crew, what does PIT stand for?
PIT stands for Practice Interview Training or Practice Interview Team.
Yes. The Pit Crew meets every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m., so right up to our show, so you can go to that and then hop on here, watch the show. What the Pit Crew does is it is a practice interview that you can go in and you can watch people practice their interviews, or when you're comfortable, then you can put your name in the hat and practice your interview. So if you have an upcoming interview that you're aware of already, that you're preparing for, that's definitely something that you should do, and everybody should do that. If you're in career transition, you should definitely do that. I don't know, Dan, if you've joined the practice interview team before?
I haven't done it with them, but I've done it in other ways.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely.
And my understanding, too, is that you can actually provide them with the job description.
Yes.
And their panel, who are also volunteers, will review that and get to know that and then actually ask you relevant questions for that job interview, which is
Oh, yeah.
very precise type of help and training,
Yeah.
right? It's not just general help and training. It's,
Yeah, it's not just a few generic tips
Yeah,
and tricks, right?
right,
It
yeah.
is very laser
Yeah.
focused on that.
The
on
people that
specific
volunteer
position.
are all, they're very professional, and they've all hired people before. That's a prerequisite. So, oh, you know something?
What's that?
Yesterday, we're forgetting something. We've got another radio show called The Job Father. So, guys, on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, you can on Facebook Live and at JOCO's, J-O-C-O, Community Radio, you can see The Job Father. Guess who our guest was yesterday?
Who's that?
Trevor Houston.
Yes, on the
Was
Job
our
Father.
guest yesterday, and we talked about all the stuff that we do here and all that stuff. And I just wanted to back us up, put it in rewind a little bit, because we were on Wednesday and we're back on Tuesday now. We'll get back on Wednesday. Thursday now is South Lake Focus Group.
That's right. Yeah, every Thursday, every week, every Thursday. Still meeting virtual, so you can just jump into their Zoom, right? They're doing it on Zoom. So
Go to southlakefocusgroup.com.
yes. And as always, you can find all of that information on our website. There's links to careerdfw.org, which has a wealth of information and events, as well as a number of other different resources. So make sure that you look at whoyouknow.show.
And Mark mentioned careerdfw.org, guys. You can find everything going on in Dallas-Fort Worth at careerdfw.org, but careerusa.org has stuff going on all across the planet, really.
That's right.
Check that out. And you know what? Jeff Morris is the founder of careerdfw.org, and he has a networking group on Friday morning. So when you go to careerdfw.org, you will find information for the Friday group. That's every day of the week.
Yeah.
We got so much going on here in Dallas. We need to tell people that we got this, because this doesn't exist everywhere, but we want it to.
All right. Well, let's do as we always do and give some shout outs. Let's go to our viewer
let's go to our
audience here
folks.
and see who we've got online. We've got Tony Virilli. Hey, Tony.
Tony,
We
I
have,
talked about it.
as always, our hype woman, our hype lady, Meg Rose.
Meg
Cario.
Rose, MRQ.
Meg Rose. Thank you so much for always staying engaged
There's
with
a
our
lady
audience.
named Uni Elder on there. She's got the same last name as you.
Uni Elder. Hey, Uni. That's my sweetie.
Wow.
My sweetie. And
know how
look
they
who
roll.
we have here, Claudia Montanari.
Claudia's
Claudia
on?
Montanari.
That's my people.
Yeah, she is with Lennox International, had come through the Who You Know Network alumni as well. So Claudia, special shout out to you. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for
We love you,
all
Claude.
that you do with the network and with Lennox International.
Mark,
So-
can I just add something here?
Yeah.
The way that you're pronouncing last names is quite exceptional. I think Trevor might be able to take
Trevor.
some
You know what?
tips and tricks from this.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm going to try and get every name on this show correct.
I mean,
So-
the accent on that last one was just spot on.
You know,
Yeah,
that was
thank
pretty good, wasn't it?
it was.
Yeah,
That was.
I might have some Italian in me. You never know. I guess
You know,
so.
you never know. You did live in Chicago, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Laura Van Camp is with us. Can you say her last name?
We got Laura Van Camp.
Van
Yeah.
Camp. She's up in Kansas City.
We got
dog.
here. I'll give this one a try. We got Bridget Moreau.
Bridget Moreau.
Bridget, are you out there? Did I say that right?
Did he do it right? Let us know if he did that right.
Sawyer
This ain't
Stewart.
Trevor today.
Man, we just have a ton. Oh, there's Ellen O'Brien. We've got some news about Ellen O'Brien. So
Bill
we're going to
Raines.
talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. And who else do we got here? Foster, you see some of your people?
My stuff is stopped.
Oh,
Yours
it's stopped.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, we're having this technical problem.
Melanie Alderman.
John
Hey,
Sparenberg,
Melanie.
my brother.
Roy Escalona. Joanna Otero.
Joanna Otero.
Yeah. Nanette Island.
Johanna is my late night Facebook buddy.
Oh, really? Okay.
If
okay.
it's 2 in the morning, you can catch Johanna. Y'all connect with us on Facebook. It's not a bad idea. I know everybody don't do Facebook, but if you do, connect with me.
Yes. So
Foster Williams is the last name. You never heard that last name. It's not very popular.
thank you all for joining in. As always, again, every week we like to say this, that there's that little arrow down at the bottom of your video screen. Make sure that you're mashing that button. Go on and mash that button.
Mashed it.
Go on and mash it. And click that button, share it to your network, because why?
We got to share it. We got to let people know what is available. When we lose our jobs, guys, some of us, we don't know what to do. Some of us still have been working at our companies for 20, 25, 30 years. There was a lady, I'm not going to mention your name, but she was just laid off 2 weeks ago that was with her company for 43 years.
Yeah.
43 years.
So, I mean, like, what do I tell this lady?
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. Like, how are you going to lay somebody off after 43 years?
Yeah.
You know?
It's
So,
tough.
Sorry, we're playing the money game in corporate America, and you got to go.
Business, not personal, right? That's what they say.
Not
anyway.
personal.
It's personal to us, not to them.
It's very personal to us. It involves more than just us, you know.
That's right. That's right. Well, another thing that we like to do, which is a tip of the week. So
Yeah.
Foster has the career
I
search tip
get
of the
the-
week. I'm sure you've got a good one.
I got
know
a
you
tip of
got
the week. Here's something, guys. This is common sense. I want to appeal to your common sense, okay? Now, when we see a job posting we get excited about, that company, guys, do you think we need to go and study as much information about that company that we can? Because if we do and we understand what that company is doing, maybe we understand that job posting a little bit better. We're preparing ourselves for an interview that likely we're going to get if we're a good fit. That is key. I asked the HR group this morning, the two recruiters, Abby, absolutely Abby, hey Abby, and we had Andy Cook on there as well this morning. I asked him, I said, if you get 100 resumes for a job posting, how many of those resumes fit what you're looking for? And the answer was 3 to 5. You know, that says something.
Ouch.
So guys, let's prepare for whatever company we're going to interview with. Guys, let's do our homework, okay?
I think the other part of that too, if I can add to that, is that you can do some research on the organization and find that this is a place I want to be, or it could be this is not a place I want to be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You
So
wanna know
understanding
that.
that there's two pieces to that, and really doing research to understand. That's the only way you're going to understand
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
pressure of not having a job makes us make not the best decisions all the time, y'all. So let's make some good decisions. There's a lot of stuff coming our way. We got a lot of landings to talk about. Mark's got a lot of information. But you guys, we need to be prepared.
That's a good point. Pressure. I like that description. Pressure, right? Pressure causes us to do things sometimes that maybe we shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I think that is certainly something that we have to take into account. It's just like when we think that we're doing right and best intentions right, you may not be, but I think pressure causes that. So
It does. And I understand, but we're not going to get anywhere applying for jobs, guys, that we're not fit for.
not at all.
But frustration
And false hope,
and false hope.
right?
Yes. So thank you for that. Why don't we go to the break, and we're going to play a commercial. We have actually the Waldorf University. Why don't we cue that one up? Holden, if we can, let's cue that one up first. Is that all right?
Spending extra time at home, perfecting kitchen skills, learning a new language? What about your education? At Waldorf University, we're offering 25% off your first online course. It's your time. It's your future. Start today.
All right. Thank you, Holden, for that. Again, that webinar series is every first and third Tuesdays
Oh, yeah.
of the month at 1 p.m. from 1 to 1:30. So nice and short. Attention keeping.
Attention keeping.
Attention keeping. That's right.
Zoom attention is different from attention.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's jump into our first segment and our first guest. We have Mary Fain Brandt.
Yeah.
She's going to share some excellent content with us. She is out again in sunny San Diego. Hey,
Hi, everyone.
Mary
You
Fain.
know it looks sunny out there, man.
Oh yeah. She's got a nice glow about her. So out in
Absolutely.
San Diego, I'm sure most people do. So Mary is the Chief Inspiration Officer, and she actually is running her own business. She does a lot of leadership development and coaching for people in their careers. So Mary, thanks for joining with us. Let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing out there in San Diego and what your experience has been. So first things that we want to hear would be, I guess, how you got started in the career coaching side of things.
Thanks for having me on this show, gentlemen. I am so excited to be here, and I love the introduction, and I have to say, I love the prayer. Thank you for starting your show with that. So I got started out of necessity. I had worked at a private school, and my position was being eliminated. And let's just say I was 50 and I was freaking out. How am I going to find a job? I hadn't had to look for a job in 20 years. And so I invested in some coaching and I started learning everything I had to do. And it was so different from when I applied for jobs and did a job search 20 years ago. So I created this huge binder with all these tabs of everything I needed to do, color coded the whole thing, and got super organized. And it was during all this, I'd actually helped 2 other people find jobs while they were working at the school. And I decided, my mom was, you guys don't know the backstory, my mom was sick. She had dementia. And I decided not to get a full-time job and to go into coaching so that I could spend time with her. And so I became this career coach for women, helping them discover their strengths and their talents and get unstuck. So that's really the niche that I go for, is helping women who feel stuck in a career. They went into accounting because they needed to work while their kids were in school, and the kids are grown up and they're like, I don't like accounting. Why am I doing this? Right? I mean, life is not a dress rehearsal.
That's right.
What is one of the biggest struggles that the people that you're coaching run into? What is it that they have as maybe a hurdle? Is it different for each and every person, or do you see an underlying theme of what people are struggling with?
So I do see an underlying theme, and I'm going to say that's confidence in themselves. Number one, they don't have the confidence that they have the skill set for the jobs that they want. And so it's working with them and doing certain exercises that I draw out all their awesomeness, right? And we write that up and we use CAR statements or STAR statements. I'm sure you've heard of those: challenge, action, result. And they're so powerful because when my clients write those out, they're like, I had no idea I was saving the company money, or I developed all these programs. And then we take all that and we use that in their LinkedIn profile, their resume, and their interview. So I want to say that confidence and being organized.
Oh, that. Oh, no.
Maybe a little time management, right?
Just being organized. So if you're going to start a job search, you need to get your ducks in a row, right? Whether you're working with a career coach or you're doing it yourself.
Okay.
You know, identify your strengths, identify your weaknesses. You need to know what those are as well.
Yeah.
Get that resume ready, get that LinkedIn profile ready, create a tracking sheet so that when you are applying, you're monitoring the progress. And so I want to say, you know, confidence and being organized are the 2 things that I see that most job seekers need.
Those things that you just said, when we get those things together, it makes us more confident. We feel like, hey, I got a few of the things I need to have in order to go forward. And I got more confidence in what I'm going to go talking to people about.
And to your point, I was going to say, and to your point, you also have that right in, I know, at your LinkedIn profile about section where you talk about making sure that people understand what it is that you do and what value you bring, right? You talk about that right in your LinkedIn profile, right? At the top statement there.
I do.
Yeah.
You know, don't confuse people with your LinkedIn profile. I work with a lot of people who have a passion project, right? I'm let's just go and say that they're a social media manager or marketing manager, but they also are a yoga instructor on the side. And they confuse people when they put on their LinkedIn profile, their headline, they put both of those things. And I'm like, what are you using LinkedIn for? Is it to grow a yoga business or to get a job as a marketing manager? You need to be clear and concise. So it's really about getting organized and really honing in on what type of job you want, what type of company do you want to work for, and then being really clear in your messaging on LinkedIn.
Now, you have definitely forged your path with a lot of social media engagement, content development, right? Posting content, making sure that you're staying in front of people. How did you get started in that? Like, what was the, I guess, catalyst that got you onto LinkedIn and, you know, creating, and that's where you got connected with Trevor, I know. So tell us a little bit more about
absolutely. I love LinkedIn. So my journey started when I decided I was going to be this career coach. I knew that I needed to be on social media, and I'm going to be the first to say I didn't do it right. I thought I had to be on every platform. I posted silly things just to make sure I posted daily, right? So I don't teach that strategy now because I've learned by going to conferences, having mentors and other coaches. It's really about putting out relevant content. And for job seekers, what that means is you want to be seen as the thought leader in your industry. So you want to share articles, you want to share your insights, and you want to share other people's posts and articles. And what I always tell job seekers is you want to comment on other posts as well. You want to get your name out there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things that Trevor teaches as well is how to work with, whether it's LinkedIn or another platform, the algorithms, right, that are designed to keep you on top of mind, keep you in front of people. And I think that there are a lot of people out there that don't understand that just liking something, right, or maybe just using a hashtag is not the most impactful thing that's going to keep you.
Man, needs a little bit more engagement, proving to people that you've actually thought about what you're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to put some thought into it. So even for job seekers, you need to have a content strategy, right? You don't want to just be posting that it's National Ice Cream Day. You need
that sounds good, Mary.
I mean, it does, right? But it's probably not relevant to your job search. So unless you're looking for a job in the ice cream industry, right. You want to have a content strategy that matches the type of job that you're trying to go after. If you're in IT, are you sharing IT updates? Are you sharing what your thoughts are on AI?
Yeah.
If you're in marketing, are you sharing how you think marketing is going to transition because of the pandemic? We see more online virtual conferences. You guys talked about yours. So if I was a marketing consultant, I would be talking about how to market online events. And I'd be that's showing that you're relevant to what's going on in the world right now.
And you'll be perceived as a subject matter expert. We like to say in Dallas, we like to say SME. But if you're a subject matter expert, we recruiters, and you will be a subject matter expert if you're spending the time with these things that Mary's talking about, and we recruiters will feel like we need to contact you about the very thing that you're talking about.
Exactly.
What are some of the other ways that you help coach people? Because again, there's the technical side, the mechanics of a search, right? Making sure that your resume is technically correct and that it is designed to get through whatever systems or get noticed. What are some of the other ways, though, that you help coach people in getting noticed, standing out, making sure that they are visible?
That's a great question. So I want to say networking is critical to a job search. And I want to say that most job seekers get this one thing wrong. So I'm here today to clear up all the rumors of how much networking you should do and how much applying to jobs. So it's called the 80-20 rule. If you're looking for a job, you should be networking 80% of your time and only applying 20% of the time.
Yeah, that is I think a big pitfall that people get stuck in. They're sitting in front of their computers, right? They're just that 20
percentile probably sounds scary to a lot of people, but that 20 percentile goes back to what we were talking about before. Are you applying for jobs that you are a good fit for?
Yeah, it's really about being strategic, and that's how I work with my clients. It's all strategy, and it's a numbers game. And job seekers think the more I apply, the more interviews I'll get. Not if you're applying to the wrong companies. And you really are going to get those interviews. It's who you know. Funny name of your show, but I'm a big proponent of that. It's who you know. And I'd like to say there's no better time than right now to grow your network online. And the reason why is because we're all sitting in front of our computers, and it's normal right now to get requests from strangers because we're all trying to grow our networks. So take advantage of that, but you do need to have a strategy on how you grow your network as well.
So what are some of the things, I know, regionally there are nuances that are different in the job markets, certainly different industries, different hiring trends. What are some of the things that you see maybe in your area that might not be more national in scope, that people are hiring, certain trends, again, that you see, and maybe some of the tips that you have around that?
Well, I still see a lot of industries hiring in San Diego, with the exception of hospitality and restaurants right now, because of the closures. I see banking hiring, and they're pivoting. They're trying to have stronger presence online. And again, it goes back for banking. A lot of that is certifications. Do you have the certifications to be a compliance officer? I see a lot of middle management being hired, a lot of leadership and talent development. That's not going anywhere. I don't know about your part of the world, but that is still being production and warehouses also. I don't know about you guys over in Texas, but production and warehouse jobs, like warehouse supervisors, I see a ton of those positions over here in California, San Diego, North County.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure that with your experience, right, and with your visibility, you've got clients and folks that you help around the country, maybe around the world. How does that differ in some of the other areas that you're working in?
That's a great question. I do all my work from home. We do everything via Zoom. And it's ironic. I'm in San Diego. 80% of my clients are in the Phoenix, Arizona area.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yeah, I get a lot of requests from that. I do work locally with a few people, but I would say 80% of my client base is from Phoenix, Arizona. And here's why I think that happens. Phoenix is booming, right? It's a growing city. It is a hub. You've got the airport there. You've got some big companies over there. And so I think that is why I'm getting so many requests for from job seekers over in Phoenix, Arizona. So that's 80%.
Wow.
Patty Bashy, do you hear that? Our network is all over the place, and we have a lady named Patty Bashy that I would love to introduce you to that is in Phoenix. My sister also is in Phoenix, by the way, but she's not looking for a job. She's old. But I would love to introduce you to Patty. Patty is tremendous. She has affected our network here in Dallas on Zoom all the way from Phoenix. You need to meet Patty Bashy.
Patty, you need to connect with me on LinkedIn, please.
And she's probably watching the show,
I actually have a really strong network over in the Phoenix area. I've been on some shows over there. I've done some online summits. I'm actually growing a really strong brand over in Arizona. So that's great. Patty, connect with me.
Ooh, it's like 120 degrees. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Now, I call Patty almost every day, and I ask, okay, what's the temperature right now? She'll be on one of our morning meetings, and it's an hour regressed for those guys, 2 hours, hour, something like that. And it's already in the hundreds. I'm like, wow.
Hotter.
I know.
Yeah.
We're leaving Thursday. We're leaving tomorrow to go there.
Yeah.
So
Bring your sunscreen.
Bring a lot of that stuff. Jeez.
good. I like
We're
heat.
told it's dry heat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, I've been to Austin, Texas. In Austin, it's like humid and there's big bugs. Now, Arizona's just dry.
It is. I'm glad to hear that in Phoenix. I'm glad to hear you say that because I want to talk to you a little bit more because I'm always trying to build communities. And we've got, as you heard when the first segment of this show, we've got a number of communities all over the place. And we get together and we try to help each other get a job. So guess what we're going to do?
Yeah, but you are right. The bugs are bigger here. I think, I think our state bird is the mosquito. So,
I think you're right, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad
it
they don't
attacked
like
me
me.
when I went to Austin. I mean, I got attacked. I went on a bike ride on the river path thing, and I just got.
Hey, Mary, I have a question. I was just thinking while you guys were talking. We have a number of moms here. We call them moms. We used to have, when Jane Ryan lived locally, we had a workshop called Moms. We have a number of mothers that stayed home to raise children and they want to get back into the workforce. Do you work with a lot of those type of ladies, professional ladies?
I do work with a few of moms that are like ready to transition back into the workforce, and they have a lot to offer the workforce, but it's all about how we package that up. What are the words that we're using on their resumes and on their LinkedIn profile? And I think that is one of the sectors where I have to help build up their confidence, because they've been stay-at-home moms and they're like, who's going to hire me? And being a stay-at-home mom, let's just put it out there, one of the hardest jobs ever.
Yeah.
You're a project manager, you're an event planner, you're a nutritionist, you're a doctor, you're an activity planner, you're an educator, you're an operations manager.
School bus driver.
I mean, it's just, how do we package that up? And before you even get to that, what's your true talent? So that's where I work with women is, what do you really love? What is something that you love to do? And I went through that myself. If I had done the work in my 30s or even my 40s, I would have known then that I'm a trainer. I'm a speaker. This is where I shine. I've always done it at my jobs unofficially. I've always been the go-to person. Mary will train us on the Google Calendar. Mary will train us on this new program. I never thought of that as a true talent that I could take to the masses and create a career out of it.
Yeah. Hey, viewer audience, want to just take a moment and talk to the audience. Mary obviously has a gift and she has a passion about working with women and all of the different walks of life that women are in, whether they're moms or working professionals. So tag somebody here on the show, a working mom, a working woman professional. If you guys know somebody who you can tag on here who is in career transition that fits that, make sure that you tag them here. You had mentioned a little bit earlier branding, right? And so I just wanted to talk about that real quick. What are some of the things that you can recommend as far as strategies to help brand yourself?
As job seekers, we need to create a personal brand. And so I'm talking a great headshot. What are the colors that you're going to use in your brand? And what's your statement? What's a quote that means something to you that you can use maybe on your background banner? And then to take it that next level, that's the visual branding. And then you want to brand yourself as that expert, whether you're a leadership expert, maybe you grow culture, maybe that's aside from what you do. Maybe you are a marketing manager, but you're also a culture builder in the teams and the community that you serve. So I really feel like you have to build that overall brand.
Yes, yeah, it's very important. Any other tips or tricks that you wanted to share? I know that you had your list as far as some recommendations for job seekers.
So much information that I want to share. I get so excited.
Mary, we love your energy. We love your energy. Those are the people that you want. Guys, you're listening to Mary? Those are the people you need to connect with. Hey, it's going to be a positive experience.
So yeah, why don't we leave the audience with a parting thought as far as maybe one of your top tips.
Okay, so I have so many. I'm going to give them two. One, you need to be prepared now, way before you have an interview. Real life example, someone very close to me had an interview today on the phone. They're casually looking for jobs. They weren't ready with their car statements. They weren't ready. They didn't do the research on the company. Like, know that inside and out and have a tracking sheet to keep track of all of that every step of the way. Okay, that's pro tip number one. Pro tip number two is how to message people on LinkedIn. And it's very simple, you guys. 3 messages. The first one, you send an initial request to connect and make sure that you personalize it. Don't just hit connect. You've got to send a note with it or I'm not going to connect with you.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, once the person accepts it, send a voicemail through LinkedIn. Hey there, Mark. Thanks for accepting my request. I look forward to seeing your post and let me know how I can support you.
I love it.
Stand out by sending a voicemail. Third, you want to take those online relationships offline, set up a phone call or a Zoom meeting just to get to know that person. You're never asking for a job. You're simply trying to grow your network and ask how you can help them.
That's great. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, Mary. Had Patty on my mind.
Patty,
I'm thinking of Arizona. Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Mary is on LinkedIn. What would be the preferred method to get in touch with you, to connect with you? Would it be LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is the easiest way to connect
Yeah.
with me. If you're ready to move forward, you can send me an email at hello@maryfainbrandt.com, and we can, jump on a phone call and talk about what your path is.
Yes. That's awesome. Mary,
awesome.
thanks so much for joining
Yeah, thanks,
with us. Hang out with us here. We're going to talk some more.
Yeah.
But let's take a quick break and play our next commercial. We've got a commercial with Carlos Gonzalez, and he has come through the network recently, so we want to highlight Carlos. And make
Yes,
sure that
we
you guys
do.
tag Carlos Gonzalez as we're
Hello
playing this.
everyone, my name is Carlos Gonzalez and I'm an IT leader in transition looking for growth opportunities. I'm really passionate about helping companies bridge the gap between the technology teams and the business teams. And to accomplish that, you need to have great leadership, communication, and team collaboration skills. I have successfully led teams in Mexico and the US to implement solutions in different areas such as supply chain, manufacturing, and logistics. So what I'm asking you to do is just take a quick look at my LinkedIn profile and please give me the opportunity to talk to you about how I could help or add value to your business. Thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful day.
All right.
All right,
Great
all
video,
right.
Carlos. So,
Carlos
yeah,
is
be sure
awesome
to tag
guy.
Carlos. Make
Yeah.
sure that, he knows his video premiered here.
Yeah.
Premiered here.
Absolutely.
You saw it here first. So,
I've been working with Carlos for a while. You companies, hey, if you're even thinking you might want to talk to Carlos, do it.
yes. All right. So let's go to the viewer audience. Let's check in with them. Hey guys, how you doing? Let's give some shout outs here. Who do we have
Ruthie
online
Elliott.
with us? We have
Hey,
Ruthie.
Ruthie.
All right, Ruthie. My computer is freezing up.
Is yours
here.
freezing up? Mine froze up too.
Yeah. But again, shout out to Meg Rose because she just came up again.
Meg Rose, we love you, MRQ. I call her MRQ.
Guess who's on? Lauren Hewlin. Lauren is on.
Lauren's
Hey,
with us.
Lauren. Yep.
We mentioned
Clark
Tony
White.
Verrilli. I talked to Tony Verrilli before we got in here.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Shannon Ibert. Mark Lushington Murray. Hey, Mark.
All right, Marco.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in as always.
So
Amy
you,
Wilson.
You said Shannon Nybert's on with us.
Yeah, Shannon Ibert.
Hey,
is on.
Shannon.
Mindy Zach. Mindy,
Mindy Zach.
special connection, Mindy. So she is, she's been engaged with BombBomb, which is what we teach with the use of video. And so, Mindy, let us know some updates. I know that you'd been engaged with them and having some conversations. So hopefully that is still
Yeah.
ongoing.
I gotta say
Patricia
hi.
Wood, hi.
Yeah.
I gotta say hi to Courtney Melendez.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And Penny Sprague.
Yeah,
Both of them
Penny.
are active on my posts and
Courtney.
content, and I love them. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
need to say a
They're
big
both
shout out
awesome
to Courtney and to Meg Rose because I shared the show and I got some engagement over on my post. So thank
That's
you,
what it's
ladies.
about.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, they're great.
That's what
the
it's
network
about.
is just like that. As you can see, tons of comments flying in. A quick plug, as always, make sure that if you know of someone who is in transition, who is searching for their next successful position, tag them in the comments. Also, if you know a recruiter or hiring manager, or you are a recruiter or hiring manager, talent acquisition specialist as well, make sure that you're tagging them here. We need to get those folks in. We have had people engage through the comments. Make sure that, let us know too,
Yeah.
what you are searching for. So in the comments, go ahead and type hashtag what you are searching for. Maybe it's project management, maybe it's engineering, maybe it's accounting and finance. You name it. Make sure that you're tagging in here because we want the recruiters that are watching the show.
We
know
love
who
to have
talk-
recruiters on the show. That makes sense, doesn't it? Our whole audience, job seekers, well, not the whole audience, because there are a lot of companies that watch this show. And you recruiters, you guys connect with us. Please, me and Mark, Trevor Houston, Dan Irvin.
Please.
Mary, connect you guys. That's what it's all about. It's really simple. If it were sophisticated, y'all wouldn't see Foster wouldn't be nowhere around.
That's right.
I encourage everyone to connect with me on LinkedIn. I have like 10,000 followers.
Wow,
And
wow.
one of my God-given talents is being a connector. So I love
too, yeah.
to connect people with other people that they just need to be connected with. So go ahead, fill up my inbox, connect with me. I'll add you in my network, and let's just keep building each other up and helping each other.
Yeah, Mary, I'd like to introduce you to a gentleman named Paul Christensen. Now, he used to run, I don't know if they're still meeting, but it was a very senior level group there in San Diego. They were COOs, CEOs, all of the see Dick jump, see Spot run, you know. And I'm trying to be funny, y'all. It don't work. I'm not a comedian. But I would like to introduce you to Paul because I think, you know, I've got a networking brain. And so I would think that might, you know, a conversation with who he could connect you with would be absolutely paramount.
I love
We've
it.
already got people saying that they sent notes to connect with you, so they're on the way.
I'll spend the next hour accepting them all.
That's right.
You will.
That's great. Well, let's jump in because we have our next special guest who actually on short notice jumped into the fray and
Happy to.
jumped into the hot seat, if you will. So we have known Dan Irvin for quite some time. So Dan Irvin is a networking connection of ours who has come through the Career Search Network, joined the Who You Know Summit, and went through that course, and has really just exploded on the scene
rose to the top.
of content creation, content development. He's organizational leadership by profession, and so he's got a ton to offer. But we want to highlight Dan and hear about how the use of technology and networking has just really ramped up your search.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be here. I like Mark, you mentioned I came through, I think January, around that time.
No, I think it was January. Wasn't it?
You were there?
I feel like we've known each other for
I know.
a lot longer than January.
This is when we
I
were back
know.
at the Cowboys headquarters, and
Yes.
we spent half the day there. But
Cowboys, y'all.
I also have to share that I am so used to standing when I'm presenting or when I'm
Dan's
talking.
a tall dude.
And I have a stand-up desk at home, and so this is odd for
do,
me to be
you
sitting
do,
here, to
yeah.
be trying to get in. Anyway, so yeah, it has been incredible. It has just been so much fun. You know, to go through career transition that it's actually going to be fun.
I know, huh?
Maybe a distant thought for some folks, especially depending on where you are in the process. But for me, it's really been fun. And I've really looked at it from that perspective. Like, how can I make this fun, right? Because every position I've ever had, I am doing the best that I can do when I'm creating an environment of inclusiveness and fun and just energy,
That's
right?
your
And
element,
so
yeah.
I've got to do that for myself. I know that about me. It's one of my motivators, so I have to create that. So how do I do it? As you mentioned, I went through the summit and I was just bombarded with all of this, all these ways to really be a disruptor in a very saturated market.
I like that
Right?
word disruptor. That's great because I'm that for sure.
And in January, it wasn't as saturated. And then, as we all know, what happened in March, and things slowed down a little bit. But I am so grateful to have had kind of a little of a head start to kind of go into that before it slowed down. But yeah, networking, connecting with people, and just being abundant. You know, when I think about
mentality of abundance.
that's right. When I think about what I want to do for other people, I just want to give it all away. Right? I don't have tips or tricks or ideas that I'm not willing to share. Right? And so that becomes the fun part for me. That becomes the exciting component of it because what I am after, and I even did this in my leadership roles, is I am after the light bulb moments. You know when you say something to somebody and you see the change on their face or
Drop
the look
the
in their
mic.
eyes?
We don't have the mics today, y'all.
And that is what I'm after. And that's the motivation that I have in my previous roles and now. And so a lot of my content that you see today is me connecting one-on-one with somebody and sharing kind of those aha moments that pop out. And so, yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been so exciting.
I have to say you've been just doing an absolutely stellar job. I mean, I see you're in my feed all the time. And one thing that I didn't realize either, we talked about this as you came in, you are always standing and you have a camera angle that is actually, you know, you're looking up at the camera. So we didn't realize that you're so tall.
I had no idea Dan
Guys,
was that
if
tall.
you go to Dan Irvin's
scared me.
LinkedIn page, watch some of his videos, and you'll think, oh, yeah, okay, there's Dan. But he is like 6'5". I mean, he's like a point guard for sure.
For the Bulls?
Yeah, for the Bull? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's always funny. I am 6'5", and I forget that I'm that tall until I see myself in photos, and I'm like, who's that
that
monster in this photo? Oh, it's me.
Very, very notable, though, both in your stature and your online media presence.
His online presence is taller than 6'5". God, I'm not kidding.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys
Oh, I
check
like
Dan out.
Well, I want to share something about that because there's sometimes some confusion of where I am today versus where I was 6 or 8 months ago. Because Mark, you mentioned, I'm punching out 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of content on any given week. But 6 or 8 months ago, my goal, quite honestly, was to do one in a week, right? And then I remember doing that for a week or two, and I thought, okay, I can double it. I can go to 2.
You can go to 2.
And then slowly over time, I've ramped that up to where I am today, right? And today, I can do 5 or 6 posts in the time that it took me to do the 1 or 2 early on, because I've created the process, I created the efficiencies. And back to what Mary was actually talking about is, and when she was saying that, it made me think of, we need to be focusing on doing more of the right things and not just more things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And so when we're able to frame up our week, our day, or however you look at it, from that perspective, you can get to that 80-20 split that she was talking about, right? Because then you're really honing in on where the biggest impact that you can have and getting rid of all the fluff, getting rid of all the stuff that just is this busy cycle.
Yeah.
Because we have been conditioned, and I believe this.
There's a word
and
right
I'm so passionate about this, that we have been conditioned to believe that being busy has some kind of currency.
Yeah.
Is some kind of importance, and it is not.
That's a wonderful way to say
not.
that.
That's a mic to drop moment right there. I mean, I wish Trevor.
Okay, Trevor's not here with the mic. Trevor just arrived in South Padre Island. I just got the word, but we're going to drop some mics right now.
Yeah, we drop the
You may
virtual
not
mic.
be able to see them, but they're dropping.
Drop that virtual mic, Dan. Yeah, there you go.
That was good.
I don't think they want us to drop these mics.
That's right.
No, we'll just drop the virtual mic.
Holden will be mad at it.
But yeah, so you mentioned just where you've come from, and I know that this is just a testament to what you have done, and I like that you've portrayed this as a ramp up, right? Because a lot of people jump into posting content, making videos, whatever that may be, and they're so scared. And I think, to your point, Mary, I mean, confidence, right, was a big issue in that, or is a big issue in that. And I think that if people just get past or into the learning curve, that they'll find that it's not nearly what they thought it was. And it's so much easier than what they really imagined.
Yeah,
So,
let me share a little bit about that, because quite honestly, my nature is to be an introvert.
Really?
I mean, it is, I would much rather be behind the camera instead of in front of the camera. But I know, to Mary's point earlier about personal branding, I have got to put an image out there. I have got to do something.
Good job of that, brother.
Thank you. Either I'm going to control that or somebody else is going to control that.
That's true.
And so I want to be in control of that. And it certainly is a ramp up period. I'll share with you. I mean, shortly after the summit that you all do is when I got on board with BombBomb. And I just made a commitment. And this is how my brain works, so this is why I had to do it this way. But I made a commitment for 2 weeks, because it was a trial period for 2 weeks, right? For 2 weeks, I'm going to send 80% of emails using a video. I'm just going to do that every time. It didn't matter if I was sending it to you, Mark, if I was sending it to my mom, if I was sending it to a friend. I was doing video email because I just needed to get comfortable with doing video and being in front of it. And now, again, 6-8 months later,
It's kind of easy now.
I'm just doing it like this now. But that's not at all
Good job.
where I started. Not at all
You too,
where I
Mary.
started.
tell us a little bit about how that impacted your connections, the number of connections that you have, the number of opportunities. Because now I know your profession is organizational leadership, but you're also speaking, right?
Yep.
And you're also engaged in other ways. So tell us a little bit more about that, like the connection boost that you got and all of that.
Yeah, so you probably could guess this to some degree if you see any of my content, that I'm pretty methodical in the way that I go about doing things, right?
Yeah.
And oftentimes, and I've talked a lot about this in the content that I do, that I like to experiment with different tactics. So at any given time, I'm in half a dozen to a dozen different experiments, right, and testing things. And I do the experimental phase for weeks at a time, mostly month, so I can really evaluate how it came out. And so when I started doing content, it was just text only. And I thought, Okay, I can just do text. Okay, and then I was like, well, let me do that. I'm getting some good traction. Now let me add a still image, just a picture. Well, it boosted it a little bit more, right? And then I thought, okay, well, let me start doing, and then just literally in the last 60 days, I moved over to video. And that's really kind of boosted it up quite a bit.
Video.
And so
I do.
Understanding and kind of watching the trends is the approach that I've always taken, is make decisions on the most data that you can get a hold of, and don't get out of experimental phase too soon because you don't really know what's going to happen until you allow some time to pass.
Yes.
Right? And so I've just kind of followed the trend of how people are connecting with me and want to connect with me. I track this might be too much for some people, but every piece of content for a rolling 60 days, I track the engagement on it.
Yeah.
So I have content that every Monday morning I go through and look at. I do a wide variety of content, or content tracking, but also activity tracking from the previous week. One of those pieces that I look at engagement over a 60-day period. So that way it does a couple things. I know what I need to do more of. To Mary's point about having a content strategy, right? Thinking about what people are connecting with. I need to do more of that. Which has been just, so anyways, that's one of the ways I do that. I could talk forever about that. The other piece too that I would tell you, Mark, to answer your question, is that you've got to write about what you're passionate about.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I know when I first started doing this, I was thinking, what do people want to hear? That's kind of the approach I took. Quickly, I realized that is not the approach for a couple of reasons. One, nobody was really responding to it because I didn't have a pulse on what people wanted. And two, I was bored. Yeah. And I was dreading doing the content.
Yeah, it comes through. Yep.
Yeah, and so when I switched that, I was writing way more content than I ever needed. I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with all this content. And I actually attracted the people that I want to be attracted to. That I want to be a part of.
You build relationships with those people, and you continue that, don't you?
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's your word.
Did I say relationship again?
Relationship.
Did I say that again, y'all?
Well, I love it. I mean, Dan, you are just, again, you're killing it, at least in my feed anyway. Anyway, I see it all the time, watching the videos and just seeing the developing of your marketing strategy. And, I know that it's impactful. Tell us a little bit about how that has impacted your engagements, your visibility with prospective employers. What kind of feedback are you getting on that level?
So one of the other byproducts of doing that much content and putting it out there about who you really are and what you're really passionate about is when employers do find you and they go to your page, they can get a real good understanding whether or not they want to continue the conversation. Right? So for me, that is doing more of the right things, because now I'm letting people opt out before I even know it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I'm okay with that. Because if we have to go through the process and then we both have to figure out whether or not this is a good fit, I've just wasted time going through a process that has nothing to do with where I'm trying to go.
That's right.
Right?
And this isn't rocket science, but I'm going to watch you out of my bad eye to see what your facial expression is. Guys, when we talk about what we have a passion for, we're not the only one. There are other people that talk about that kind of stuff. Mary and I can talk all day long and going to do it. But, when you meet those people, you track more with them, and then you learn because you start sharing. And that's how the Job Seeker Network works here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And we find out who knows who.
Yeah, like-mindedness,
Who you know?
Right? Connecting with people that think the way you think is only going to sharpen you, right? Iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And so how do you find those people? Well, you be authentically you, and you will attract those people.
Yeah.
Quit trying to find them and start attracting them.
Right.
So,
and they're out there.
And so some of the other things that content and what I'm doing has helped me is that it's just given me opportunities like this to be in front of more people. Let me be very honest and clear. My goal is to get this face in front of as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Right?
And you found out that face wasn't ugly, man.
Well, the jury's still out on that. But and this morning I did a 4-hour live event with Career Launch. Right? That was purely because of the content I'm pushing and the relationships that I've created.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm doing a live training next week on some content that I've created on goal setting. And also launching a website at the end of the month for a speaking career that I'm really trying to pursue. and that I want to do, and just be in that leadership development space.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
excited.
Shout out
That's awesome.
to Catherine
That is
McCord.
super
You know,
exciting.
you got the right guy. You got vision, girl.
Oh yeah, that is super exciting. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, it's just great to see when you put your heart into it, right? And you believe in it and you're passionate about it, which obviously are. What it can do. And so I think that, some of the takeaways that I'm hearing are, number one, you've got to just get after it. You've got to commit to yourself that you're going to do it. Number two,
No matter how small it is.
yes,
Right?
Yes,
Small
yes.
and consistent is greater than big and inconsistent
Wins the race.
all day long.
Yes.
Right? Small and consistent. Yes.
And the other thing that I heard you say is that the passion, right? That's key. You have to be passionate about what it is that you're creating as far as the content, what it is that you're putting out there. I mean, look, viewer audience, that's one of the things that we get all the time. Like, well, I'm not sure what to post or what to talk about. I mean, talk about what you're passionate about. And that's another thing. If you are not passionate about the work that you're doing,
Nobody want to hear that. Ain't got time for that.
that may be a clear signal to you that it may be time to evaluate what you're doing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And so that's a golden opportunity. You're in a good position to evaluate that.
I've had direct conversations with people like, how do you do it? Well, how do you come up with content? How do I start? Just like you're saying, Mark.
Yeah.
And my thought to them is I will tell you exactly what I did. And that's what I love doing, actually, is I share with people. I'm not sharing theory with people about what I think might work for them. I'm saying, here's what worked for me. This is what I'm doing today. Now, you may have to alter it a little bit, but I'm giving you a framework of what works for me. You figure out how that works for you. But for content creation, I always tell people, just sit down and think about experiences, positive experiences that you've had in your life. Right? In a workplace, in life. It doesn't have to be all workplace related. In fact, I think more people connect with us. One of the best performing posts I ever got was a sign that I put up that my daughter left me that says, "You're an amazing dad."
Oh, now, that'll set you.
And I put that up on LinkedIn, and I put a little blurb about what that meant to me personally.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best performing. And that's it.
I think I saw that.
And that's important for me because I want people to know who I am from that perspective and understand that being a parent is a priority in my life.
Yes.
Right? And so brainstorming, thinking through experiences that you've had in your life, and then you can easily pull out different topics to then write on based on those experiences.
Yes, I love it. And I love that it's personal, right? It has nothing to do with your profession, right? But part of your profession is being a dad.
Might
And
develop
so,
into that.
We do not come to employers as partial people. We come to employers as whole people.
Oh man.
So-
Another
You guys
virtual.
have to
Another virtual.
remember-
Go ahead, drop that
Virtual
virtual
mic dropping.
Yeah. You have to remember there's a person behind the profile. And I love what you're saying. It's H to H. We call it human to human.
Yeah.
Right? That we need to get back to that. There's someone behind the profile. So when I'm working with someone, I use a different 80-20 rule. That's 80% of your post should be about your profession, your industry, but 20% should be personal. People they're going to connect with you because of who you are, where you're volunteering, where you're traveling to, what, about who you are. And it can't be all professional. Like you said, when you go to an employer, you're a whole person going there.
That's right. That's right.
And you're a dad, you're a mother. Yeah.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about that is that we all have our own story.
We do.
So we're all unique in that space.
And our stories are good, too.
That's right. I honestly believe that. They are good. You have to believe they're good.
I made a whole
Right.
life of you guys.
And that comes back to confidence, right?
Yeah.
That comes back to confidence. So,
Yep.
Absolutely.
guys, let's also check in with our audience because I know that there's just the comments have been flying in, Dan.
Shannon Nybert
To,
has been blowing it up. She likes Dan.
Yes,
It's a busy show.
Yeah,
Build
let's
it and they will come, Shannon. You're
let's
right.
talk about what you guys have to say. I see Michael Goldberg on there, Roxanne McKnight, Jason Hopper, Deanna Feaster. Man, we just have a jam-packed audience here.
Connor Rogan.
Connor
Hey,
Rogan.
hey, Connor.
Yeah, Christine Pacheco. Hopefully I
Connor
said
said
that right.
Dan is deep.
Dan is deep.
I got to get a little fist bump.
Oh, we
on that
would do
one.
the elbow.
Oh, yeah,
The
we got to
elbow,
do
yeah,
the
the
elbow.
elbow, the elbow
Oh, yeah.
bump. Yeah.
We've already broken all
Yeah,
the
we're
rules
sans
of this
mask
show.
because we're back in this studio. So let's talk about how to connect with you because I know people they need to be connected with you. LinkedIn, obviously. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so kind of like what Mary was talking about at the beginning, where she was kind of all over the place trying to figure out where she wanted to put her time in. I decided early on that I'm going to just identify an area to really go all in on, and I went with LinkedIn. And so that is the best place to get a hold of me. I could see that progressing into other channels down the road, but I wanted to master one particular area and understand the algorithm and understand and really grow it there. I think when we focus on too many things, we're not focusing on anything. And so I like to hone in on specific areas. So anyways, LinkedIn is the best way to connect with me. And then beyond that, when you connect with me, everyone that connects with me, I send them a video. I use BombBomb for this.
Yes.
Every month I update it, so it's a topical video. And so I send my new connections. I send more video than I do regular anything anyways. But
I think you do.
my new connections, I send this video to them. And in the video, there's a pop-up link that comes up that you can schedule time with me. And I do this all the time and just connecting with people and learning about them and digging in deeper with my network. Because that's, again, if I can get this face in front of more people, if I can be top of mind for folks, and if I can give back to any degree, it just is motivating the fire in me to keep it going.
Yeah. See why we do what we do?
Exactly.
Right?
I know.
It
I
is.
love it.
It's a blast.
Great. And you are a giver. I mean, it just
You can
shines
tell.
through. Yeah, you're absolutely passionate about that too. Thank you so much for joining in with us.
My
Love
pleasure.
hearing your story.
Irvin. There's no G.
There's no G. That's
There's
right.
no G.
Yep.
Thank
Don't
you
give
for
him
that.
a G now. You may get a little
Irvin.
upset.
Yes, so connect with him. I know that he'll engage with you. If you have questions and need some help or some guidance, tips and tricks on content or posting, developing a network, Dan's there for you too. Dan, why don't you tell us, because you're in transition, so dream job, dream employer, do you have a plug there?
Absolutely. What I'm looking to do is I want to help leaders remove distractions so that they can be more intentional, fulfilled, and lead meaningful lives. And so I have found that I am able to do that working with people and processes. And so any organization that values people and processes also is in growth mode and sees professional development as a way to get there, I want to be a part of that organization. And so I've worked in sales and operations teams and performance management teams and organizational leadership. And my last two positions, I was a COO, and then prior to that, I was a campus president for a higher education institution. And so I've kind of spanned the industries from different, because the COO position was in cybersecurity.
Oh, wow.
So I've been in
Okay.
a couple different industries, and the commonality there is working with people and processes. And so I'm looking for an organization that values leadership
Did
development.
you enjoy cybersecurity?
I didn't really know much about it.
I can understand.
I was working with people that knew way more about it than I did, so I didn't even pretend to know about it.
That's
but
a smart thing to
what
do.
I do know is about how to motivate in people and help them grow to their goals and understand their goals and just help them transition or follow through on their
What
goals.
city do you guys live in, Dan?
I'm in Frisco.
Good.
Up in Frisco.
Even better.
Well, you and Mary
So, Dan?
have just... Yes.
Oh, Dan, we just met on this show, and I have
Yeah.
to say, I am so impressed.
Thank you.
I'm just
Honestly,
so
yeah.
impressed with how you have taken this and made it your own search. And, whatever company hires you, they're going to be so lucky. So I definitely want to keep in touch with you. I just think you're amazing. You've got the experience, the education, you've got the right attitude, and you are going to be a blessing to whatever organization snatches you up. So
That's so kind.
true.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I've already sent you a note to connect. In fact, when you said earlier to make sure you send a personalized note, I didn't do that because we were talking to each other.
No, I didn't do it either.
And I thought, oh no, I just broke the rule with Mary. But I hope you forgive me. And then yes, I want to schedule some time and connect. And anyone out there that wants to connect, like Mark, you're saying, that is what I am trying to do these days. So let's connect and let's talk.
It's all about...
Who
you
you
know.
know. That's what it's about.
Let's, before we go, check back in with the audience again. Hashtag what you're looking for. We want the recruiters that are watching to know. Also, tag somebody who you think would benefit from seeing this content, seeing this show. If it's a job seeker, great. If it's a recruiter, a hiring manager looking to hire, that's great too. I noticed Trevor had said tag Gary V.
Gary
Vaynerchuk.
Hey,
So,
Gary
make
Vaynerchuk.
sure you tag him. Thanks, Trevor, for jumping into the show here all the way from South Texas. Let's play another commercial. We want to get this out there too, because we have a commercial from Ellen O'Brien, who I think is on right now. I think Ellen, I saw her on.
You know Ellen may be on.
But let's play Ellen's commercial.
Hi everyone, my name is Ellen O'Brien. I am a pre-sales solutions consultant and I assist sales teams in selling compliance software. I specialize in product presentations as well as all pre and post sales activities. My passion is helping organizations such as financial institutions, insurance companies, and other industries combat financial crime and fraud. I am a certified anti-money laundering specialist and I am currently studying for my fraud certification. As an added bonus, I have experience with all things core banking, from deposit and loan origination to back office servicing, CRM, digital, and so much more. If you know of anyone that could use my skill set, please reach out to me. Or if there's anyone that you think I should connect with on LinkedIn, please tag them in the comments below. I appreciate all your support. Thanks so much.
All right, great commercial, Ellen. Guys, tag Ellen, let her know. I think, I saw her in here, but make sure that you tag Ellen and that she is being blasted here on
You know what
LinkedIn.
I've noticed on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Now, I may be behind the bubble now. I may be the job father, but I ain't everywhere every minute. So have you noticed on the share function, there's another button that you can send something, a bunch of content that I know that my buddy Dan, as you're making these relationships, you're learning what people's passions are and what they like. If I see something on LinkedIn, it might be somebody's video. It might be something that Mary concocted. You know, I know, hey, I'm going to send that to my buddy Dan because I know he'll appreciate that. And that little send button, you can send it directly to him.
Man,
You
I
can
love
send
this.
it, it'll go in their mailbox.
Yeah.
Yes. I love this. Just right in the comments here, Kim, hopefully I'm saying this right again with the last names, but Kim Aiken said, we are hiring and tagged Shannon Nybert. So this is just great to see. Guys, this is what the show is all about. Thank you so much for joining in. Connect with us if we are not connected on LinkedIn. Mark Elder, Foster Williams. Obviously, if you're watching, you're probably connected with Trevor Houston.
Yeah.
But connect with Trevor Houston as well if you're not. And both of our illustrious guests here, you guys have so many commonalities. It's
good
I know.
show
amazing.
today.
It's
yeah.
very true. When she was talking, I was like, we are definitely going to connect.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So that's what this show is about. Hope you guys loved it. Have a blessed week. Thank you so much for joining us. I think that's it.
Yep.
That's the
Nancy
show.
and Tia, thank you for joining us from Chicago. I told you guys it was about the whole U.S. I told you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the show. It's all about
Who ya
ya
know.